What's up, everybody? It is the Best Buy Kid Smooth, and I am back with another quick video. And I'm sorry to be so overly spoken about Project Scorpio and this whole Xbox One thing. I want to talk about the name, the rumored name, which the names are going out to be. Everybody believing this the Xbox One X, and some of the reactions to it isn't really favorable depending on who you are. And people are like, well, it's too close to S, and it's just not the greatest name. Well, my take on the name is I don't mind it. I don't mind it only because I think it should just be called Xbox, but it is technically, the Project Scorpio is still an Xbox One. Quite be it being a much more capable version of the Xbox One, but it's still an Xbox One. Now, people tend to forget that cell phones, tablets, laptops do this. We got the iPhone C, we got the iPhone S, iPhone 6S, iPhone 7S, and we got the Galaxy S6, Galaxy S7 Edge. You got the Surface Pro and Surface Pro this, and the Notebook the Galaxy Notebook this, and it's the names where they code them and they just simplify them down to just numbers and letters. Sure, S and X as far as sound, but visualizing S and X completely different. Usually when you see an X next to something, you kind of something that seems like extreme or expensive or higher tier is when I see X next to something. Reason why I don't mind it is because they have to use a letter form or a number form, because any name you put after Xbox One will be too long. And this is marketing 101. The name Xbox One itself, the Xbox 360, completely marketable. You can make that short by saying the 360. Xbox One, we say either Xbox One or we just call it the Xbox. You know what I mean? The Xbox One S, I mean, it's easy to say Xbox One S, or we still, some of us still identify it as Xbox One, or we identify it as the Slim. You have to, naming products isn't easy. You have to be careful, you have to be market friendly, and it has to be able to roll off the tongue. Now, it has to be an Xbox One, right? We already know there isn't Scorpio exclusive games. They're not going to be you walk in the store and be like, that's or Xbox One game, whatever the new Xbox name is. It's not going to be like that. They all run the same games. If anything, Microsoft may do, they like how they did with the Xbox 360 backwards compatible titles. They'll give everything one case and it says Xbox 360, Xbox One S, or Xbox One X compatible or some shit like that, right? That's what they might do, a single case for all Xbox 360 and Xbox One games that identifies them running on all of the Xbox platforms that is compatible for. Now, once again, when it comes to naming Project Scorpio, we already know it's an Xbox One. And in layman's form, it is an Xbox One. So they can't not name it an Xbox One, and they can't not name it an Xbox platform, because this is the Xbox One family. The first part of the name is Xbox One. The second part of the name is where it's tricky. Now, as much as we are in love with the name Scorpio, we got so used to it because we've been talking about it for almost 2 years in its code name form that it kind of just, that's what we know it as. This is the identity it has become. But as a finished product, and they put this thing on the store, obviously Xbox One Scorpio, I'm sorry, it's not marketable. To the hardcore fan base, sure. To the hardcore fan base, you can just name it Scorpio. It'll be fine. But as far as marketing, you say, all right, we have the Xbox One, we have a familiar brand, and we have the familiar product line. Some people say, oh, they should stay away from the Xbox One. Like, they can't do that. The best they can do is reverse image, which they have done. Okay? So, the best way to title the Xbox One is to keep it to simplest forms. You have the first part and name part. Now you have to go with a combination of letters and numbers, or just one or the other. So now we went from the Xbox One to the Xbox One Elite, which was kind of a limited console that wasn't like sold in every store. That was like limited to like the Xbox store and I believe GameStop, right? Now you have the Xbox One S, extremely marketable. It's a smaller compact size. You know what I mean? I understand why they didn't call it the Xbox One Slim, because rumor is this Scorpio is probably going to be smaller than the Xbox One S, right? So you have the Xbox One S. Now you got the Project Scorpio. It's an Xbox One. What do we call it? Do we call it the Xbox One, the Xbox One Ultra, the Xbox One Scorpio? Do we call it it has to sound higher tier than with the Slim, but it has to have the Xbox One name. Why not the Xbox One X? Xbox One S2? The Xbox One 4K? Is the Xbox One 4K enough? It's like putting 3D, like when the Evo, I think it was the HTC Evo 3D, when they had 3D images that you can do. Is that enough? Is it marketable? Sure, it does 4K gaming, but is that enough? Is that name Xbox One 4K? Not quite it. So a lot of people have issues with the Xbox One X, but I think is actually perfect. Because like I said, we're looking at it from a stance as already familiar with the brand, and we're most of us as hardcore fans. So we're looking at it like, oh, that's not nothing. But think about it, when we heard Xbox One, how did Xbox One really stick with us? Really, after the Xbox 360. I was like, well, damn, they can't just call it the Xbox 3 after the Xbox 360. Xbox One eventually just kind of just roll off the tongue. Xbox One S seems fine. The Xbox One X is actually not bad. And I feel like it works best this way because they're following other models that does this thing. You have iPhone. You have that Apple with their iPhones and their iPads. You have Samsung with their Galaxies and their notebooks. And you have Microsoft with their revisions of their Surface Pros and stuff. They changed it. They don't change the name much because they have an established brand already, and all you have to do is change the model. One SX. I don't think there's not going to be any confusion going out to buy an Xbox One X. And if Xbox One X is the final name, give it a chance. I don't think it hurts them. Because the only thing Microsoft needs to do when they release the Xbox One X, I'm gonna just call it, if that's the name, if come Thursday or come the day we find out the official name Xbox One X isn't, if that's not the name, we could disregard this whole video. It's all about packaging at this point. Once they reveal what the console looks like and what it does, it's all about packaging. Marketing up, delivering it. Okay, what's the difference between the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X? That's where they have to put the nail in the coffin to make it like, all right, when you go into your Best Buy and you see, oh, by just looking at it, oh, that's the beast. You know what I mean? They can't have two miniature white boxes and the only thing that changes on the boxes is the letter at the end. That would be a mistake. As long as they have a dramatic difference in packaging with this thing, it's fine. I don't have any issue with the name being Xbox One X if that becomes the final title. I think it's smart. It's the trend is what everybody's doing, and other shit like phones and tablets and shit. Nothing changes much about the name except for the final version, which would be the S2 or the B6 or whatever you want to call this shit. It comes down to combinations of letters and numbers. And most of us, you guys may not realize that. Look at your phone. What kind of phone you got? I bet it's a fucking like a 10th version of a phone that ends in a letter or a number. But that's all I got for this video. Please give me a like. If you dislike, you know where that dislike button is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is the Xbox One X name really bothering you? Could Microsoft do better? But think about it. Just think about it. Xbox One has to be in the name. What's the second half of the name? It can't be too long, because any full new name, Elite, Ultra, blah, 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 whatever, anything after their Xbox One X, if it's too long, it just might not work. So simplifying is almost sometimes by default always the best choice. But I'm Kid Smooth, aka the best spot. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, tune in to my Uncharted crushing mode live stream. I'll be doing that all this week. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning for the first stream. Thank you guys for checking out this video. And of course, if you want to be entertained and you want to know what I think about the Scorpio and stuff like that, make sure you follow me on Twitter, because I'm going to have a lot to say this coming Thursday. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We out of here. Peace.